Hi everyone, this is ZPJ. Today I would like to talk about guitars. So first we have three major electric guitar contenders. We have the Fender American Stratocaster. We have the Fender American Telecaster. And we have the Gibson Les Paul. Gibson Les Paul with humbucker pickups. And the difference between the humbucker pickups and of course the P90. So I have another, it's Epiphone, also by Gibson. A subsidiary of Gibson. However, the Beatles used to play Epiphone. They're not a bad guitar, and at the time, I believe, when they did play, it wasn't owned by Gibson. Gibson acquired it sometime later. It's a great guitar. This one has two P90 pickups, so the P90 are a bit hotter and a bit rougher. You're good for metal sounds, like harsh, rocky sounds. This is also the Les Paul Gibson is also good for rock, of course, metal. A lot of famous people used it. Slash is one of the ones who used it, and of course. The Rolling Stones, Keith Richards used the Telecaster, and of course like Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton really loved the Fender Stratocaster. And the one thing I can say about the Stratocaster, it has a nice mellow sound. Pink Floyd, they used a lot of this sound for their solos and their nice guitar riffs. And if you want a nice, mellow, nice, beautiful singing sound, Santana loved this kind of guitar. You really cannot get a better guitar than this. But it's not to say that this guitar is the guitar that you want. And I'm no Jimi Hendrix. I'm no Jimmy Page, but I do play all the guitar riffs and the solos on my tracks. This one is more of it's good for solos. It has a thinner, higher pitch sound than the Stratocaster, the Telecaster does, and it's better. I think it's better for rhythm, bluesy, rocky guitar sounds. Very famous guitar sounds from the Rolling Stones. I think it really has the place. Now, Axl, sorry, not Axl, he was the singer. Slash used this baby. Of course, Robert Plant also used this baby as well, the Gibson Les Paul. And of course, if you know anything about Guns N' Roses and you've heard Slash play, he played most of his stuff on this Les Paul style Gibson guitar. It's not the same one, of course, but it's really good for rock. It's really good for modern rock. This is really good for classic rock. This, especially rhythm, this is really good for nice, mellow solos. Like it's a Stratocaster because it takes the sound into the stratosphere. It's wonderful. But now, in terms of rock, if you really want that special harsh rock sound, that really crunchy, rock sound, you want the P90 pickups, like in this Les Paul Epiphone. Those P90 pickups really bite. They're really, really sensational. I've used it in a number of tracks. Great guitar. Now for classic, like really classic 60s style Keith Richards style rock, I really love my Yamaha. It's a super Strat, so it's got 2 humbuckers and it's got 1 single pickup, so it's got 5 pickups in total. Really great tone, and of course you can switch between there are 3 settings, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one there are 5 settings. On the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I thought there were 3 settings. There are 5 settings. I never really counted, I just flipped them. And of course you can switch between whether you're on the bridge humbucker only and the bridge and the body, or the bridge and the neck and only the neck. So you get a deeper sound towards the bridge where the body is, and then you get by the neck you get a much higher sound. And of course you can adjust the tone, all of that. But for like I got that old time rock and roll sound, you want this one. So would I choose these ones all the time? The ones that are supposed to be the greatest guitars? I would choose them each for a specific purpose, but this one really has that rock, classic, real 60s style classic rock sound. Now, of course you need a nice amp. I used the Fender Champion 40. I'm going to change the speaker soon. I already have it ordered. Now for acoustics, so I want to get into acoustics a little bit. My first acoustic is a Samick, this one here, and I had a Yamaha that I didn't like so much, so I sold it, and I actually picked this one off the street. Wow, like 24 years ago, and it still sounds great. Samick makes pretty good acoustic guitars and pianos. This Fender acts both as an electric and a classical acoustic, well, country style acoustic. This is the classical nylon string acoustic, also by Samick. I wrote a couple tunes on that. It's a bit old. The sound is not very nice, but you want that Spanish guitar sound. You need the nylon strings, you need the classical acoustic, and this one has the steel strings. Painted, this one is. It's a Fender limited edition Fender. I love this guitar. The sound is very nice, very deep. You can get some nice body tones out of it if you plug it in. I'm not really keen on plugging it in and then recording through the built-in, I think it's a Fishman pickup. I'd rather use a mic. So I got a full range of mics here that of course, this YouTube channel is basically about mics, and you can watch my videos on mics. I'm not going to get into that, but I really love the sound of this guitar while being picked up by mics. So I would, the KSM 141 is great, a pair of those, and of course the AKG 414 XL2s. They're really good for picking up the guitars in pairs. There are a lot of other mics I have in pairs, but I prefer those two for picking up the acoustic sounds. And of course, any rhythm part, I use this guitar. And then usually when I do a classical solo with just singing very mellow, I like using this. It gives a really nice tone. Really, really beautiful, harmonized with vocals, just the guitar and the vocals alone. Wonderful. This one, the country acoustic, I wouldn't use it so much for just vocals and the guitar riff by itself, although I have this one I much more prefer. And I only have, of course, one bass guitar. This is a Fender Squier. It's not the greatest guitar in the world, but it's really nice. The sound is great. The board is great. So I use this for all my bass. I'm not a big bass player, but I did get this to apply bass tones to my music. So in terms of bass guitar, I only have one option, and sometimes I use the keyboard. The keyboard gives great bass options as well. Also, the keyboard, you can add some guitar effects, so you can calibrate the keys to sound like guitar strumming, and then you can get some nice guitar sounds out of that. The song Starman that I wrote, that one is I didn't use a guitar actually. I used the keyboard for that effect. Of course, you still have to enter the music yourself. It's not something that I pulled off of ChatGPT or the internet. So there are options, and if you're thinking of buying a specific guitar with which you can play everything, which one would it be? Well, this one is not bad because it has a range of tones and a range of options. So for example, it has that Telecaster element here, but it does have the two humbuckers. So you can get that Les Paul sound, and of course you can also get that Stratocaster sound. So it's a very versatile guitar. The rest of them I wouldn't use quite as aggressively on a range of material. I would just keep it to one specific genre, one specific type. And yeah, I think there's a lot to be said, a lot more to be said about guitars. I'm not specifically a professional guitarist, but I do think I need all of these guitars to make all the songs. I have about 160 songs, more than that I had recorded and uploaded to YouTube, and you can find them on Amazon Music, Apple Tunes, everywhere, Spotify basically. You can hear them, but as far as me being the best guitarist, I'll never claim that, but I do believe that I'm doing quite well, but I still can't do all of that with one guitar. It's just not going to happen. So investing in guitars, it's a lot of money. I have well over $5,000–6,000 worth of guitars here. Well, if you buy them new. So would you want to invest all that money in just guitars, or would I recommend one guitar that could do it all? Well, one guitar can't do it all, but if you get an acoustic and you get this Super Strat, it's a Yamaha. I'll put the link below the model numbers below so you can see what kind of guitars I'm talking about. So I get a Yamaha Super Strat. I'd actually just go with this a Samick acoustic guitar and use a mic, a good mic, to pick up the guitar playing. And then of course I get a fairly basic, I would call this a fairly basic bass, the Squier. I think that would be, the 3 guitars would pretty much cover everything you need. They wouldn't be very specific. For example, the Yamaha, you couldn't get every single sound out of it, but it would cover a wider range than any of these 3. And could you get the sound out of the Yamaha that you can get out of the P90 pickups that's built into the Epiphone Les Paul? No. This is a special guitar. This is a guitar that is unlike other guitars, but technically speaking, you could switch out the humbuckers for the P90s, and then, but that would take some time for you to do. If you get 2 of these, then you could switch out the 2 humbuckers, and then you could have the option of one or the other. Well, I really hope this helped. I'm sure that you could find more information if you search, but this is a very basic outline, framework, skeleton of the information that you need to do your further search. So I would say that have fun, enjoy playing, and I hope that you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and bless you all. ZPJ, over and out.